Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. So today we're looking at district officers and the crucial roles they play in effective management of the built environment. But before then, the ministry, talking about the entire Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, they are welcoming us all into a great year 2025. And the Honorable Commissioner, Dr. Yinka Olumide, as well as the Special Advisor, talking about Dr. Babatunde Olajide, they are wishing us a pleasant year. But they also want us to report infractions as they happen in Lagos. The commissioner was speaking yesterday at Alausa, and he did employ all Lagosians to be part of this process of building a very, very good, a safe built environment in Lagos. And he's urged that if we see something, let us always come out to say something. And the commissioner has also said, well, there are so many ways you can report any infractions that you see on the road. And you can do that by writing to the Office of the Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development through, so many channels. You can do that by writing a physical letter, or perhaps you can also download the app. Okay, we've been talking about that app severally on the Google Play Store as well as iOS. You can download the MPPUD. All right, that's the name of the app, MPPUD. And MPPUD stands for Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. So we have so many things that are very accessible using that app. So you can report infractions by downloading that app and going on that point where you can report to them, right? But if you cannot download the app, or perhaps you want to report directly, there are some hotlines that you can use to connect with the ministry to whistleblow any infractions in your neighborhood. And I'm going to be giving those hotlines right now. 070 3065 3241. That's 070 3065 3241. Okay, if you see anything that needs to be reported, please do that, especially in your neighborhood. Any building or any person that is causing an infraction on the environment as it relates to the built environment, you can, send a number. You can call that number 070 3065 3241, or you can also do that using 080 3469 8264. 080 3469 8264. 080 3469 8264. And of course, you'll be able to get across to somebody who will be able to take that on headlong. Our excursion today takes us further to the western side of Lagos, known as Oto-Awori. All right? Oto-Awori is a fascinating part of Lagos, which is brimming with life and commerce. Now, if I ask you to describe the town we are visiting this morning, little would you know that Oto-Awori is situated 30 kilometers on the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. Structurally speaking, the region is built on sedimentary rocks with loamy soil and, of course, muddy clay depositional soil near the lagoon. Now, historically speaking, if I'm going to go into the history of that particular location, the origin of Oto-Awori dates back to the 16th century when two hunters, Oshoba Ayato and Odofin Ayoka, left Ile-Ife and settled in that area. Now, the name Oto-Awori is derived from the founder's name, Ayato, and of course the Awori dialect, which is spoken by the inhabitants of that particular area. Population-wise, Oto-Awori, as at the last available data, has a population of over 500,000 inhabitants. Anyway, for the communities that we have in that area, my guests will take us through that. But let's bring them into the microphone as we look at district officers, a crucial link to effective management of the built environment. And joining me in the studios this morning, I have Town Planner Adesida Samuel Ojo. He's an Assistant Director, Town Planning Services with LASPPPA, and he's also the head of IBA, Oto-Awori District Office. Nice to have you in the building, Town Planner Adesida Ojo. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right, you need to speak with that microphone properly. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir.
Great. How was the journey here, all the way from Oto-Awori?
It was smooth.
It was smooth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. Joining him as well, I have Engineer Ogunwoolu Ibrahim Adeniji. Is Assistant Chief Civil Engineer, and of course, he's also the head of IBA, Oto-Awori District Office. Nice to have you in the building. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to have you too.
And how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Great. Your journey here was smooth this morning?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Let's kick it up right away. So the amnesty program for completed buildings without planning permits have come and gone. But of course, its impact still lingers on. So let's start first by assessing it when it was on. So talk to me, Town Planner Adesida. How did it go in your area?
Thank you, sir. During the Lagos State government declared amnesty on May for 3 months, May, June, July. After July, they extended it by another 3 months. At the summit, LASPPPA summit, Mr. Governor did fit when he found out that many people were requesting for extension. He extended it to December.
Okay.
By the time that we commenced the amnesty there, the response was low at initial stage. But when it was getting towards July, second phase of the amnesty, people started responding for the submission of a planning permit. But toward the end of the amnesty, that was around December, it was overwhelming.
It was very overwhelming.
People responded well.
Lots of people were coming in.
Yes, sir.
Like how many people were coming to your office on a daily basis?
At the beginning of the amnesty, it was in between 10, 15. But by the time that the amnesty was about to round up, we were recording close to about 30, 40 people.
Wow. On a daily basis?
Yes, sir.
That's huge. So you must have been overwhelmed by a lot of work then.
But thank God for that, sir.
All right. Engineer Ogunwoolu, Ibrahim, how did you assess it during your time? I mean, when the amnesty was on, how was it?
Yeah, we thank God. During the amnesty program, LASPPPA activities were very, very impressive as well, because we have to go out to ensure that we bring more people into the program, because some of the people were not even aware. So, but due to our activities, going out, serving some buildings, most especially the existing ones, so a lot of them begin to be aware, and they were coming. So the turnout was very impressive. And at the end of the day,
anytime they get to LASPPPA, after they registered, LASPPPA refers them to your office, right? So on a daily basis, like how many people were visiting your office?
On a daily basis, just like my colleague here have said, so we have 10, 15, 20, depending on the nature of the as-built that they brought in.
Okay. That's what to determine, right?
Yes.
Now, if both of you have taken assessment of completed buildings in Oto-Awori, what is the percentage of buildings that have planning permits as we speak right now? Town Planner Adesida, how would you, considering the fact that amnesty was on, but from what you see, if you had to give a percentage of buildings that have planning permits, how would you rate it?
Sir, my district covers IBA 2, not only Oto-Awori.
Okay.
IBA SCDA, Oto-Awori SCDA. Considering the number of permits granted, the percentage, for Oto-Awori, I would say about 30%. Then for IBA, I would say about 50%.
30%, 50%. Wow. All right. And in your opinion, Engineer Ogunwoolu, do you think that the amnesty should continue?
Well, in my opinion, I would rather say that probably we pause for a while.
Okay.
Then probably over the years, then we can return. We can resume.
So we should pause for a while and look at voluntary compliance.
Exactly.
All
so
right.
that we won't be encouraging the non-compliance at all time.
All right then. All right, then. So you're saying now that there should be a pause for a while, and let's see if that would encourage some kind of compliance, right? Voluntary compliance. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right. Let's get to your brief as a district officer for Oto-Awori and IBA. What are your direct responsibilities? Let's start first with Town Planner Adesida.
As a district officer, my direct responsibility are processing and issuance of planning permit.
Okay.
Monitoring and ensuring compliance with the planning permit granted in line with the approval of operative development plan. Also, creation of awareness on physical planning issues. These are my direct responsibility.
Okay, so you issue planning permits within your district?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's get to Engineer Ogunwoolu. What are your direct responsibilities?
My direct responsibilities are one, monitoring of non-compliant property or buildings within my coverage areas. Then we, on a request, we try to as well do what we call stage inspection for those that have approval, and that reach out to LASPPPA to obtain their authorization letter, and then they are doing what they are supposed to be doing by inviting us for stage inspection. So we carry out stage inspection exercise as well, and then more importantly, we do what we call a public enlightenment as well.
Okay, so you engage in...
We engage a lot of public enlightenment, meeting people when we go out,
right,
meeting with the chiefs, meeting with the obas and the likes, and people that came to our office as well. We try to as well enlighten them on the processes of LASPPPA and the physical planning.
Right. Okay, then, so for those who are not very familiar with that axis of Lagos, what communities fall under your jurisdiction? Town Planner Adesida Ojo?
Well, the communities that fall within my district are Iba Town, Igbeleri Town, Ishashi, Okoko, Afromedia, Ijanike, Ilogbo, Imude, Shibiri, Ijagemo, and part of Ijedudu.
Right. How big is those communities? Are they very big?
They are very big, sir.
Very big. What about you, Engineer Ogunwoolu? What are the districts? What are the communities that fall under your district?
We share exactly the same.
Is the same?
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, so Iba and Oto-Awori, very big communities. You mean?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So let's put it in proper perspective now. For you, Town Planner Adesida, how long have you been the district head there?
2 years, sir.
2 years. And how's it been?
That'd be wonderful.
In terms of the consciousness of the people in knowing what to do as relates to the built environment, how would you rate Oto-Awori people and Iba?
They are good people. And in terms of compliance, we rate them, let me just say, about 30%.
30%?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Compliant with the issue of ignorance of planning permit, sir.
So there's a lot of ignorance that is going on there, I suspect.
Where?
If you say 30%, that means for 70% of people, they would rather just go ahead and do their own thing, their own way, without...
No, it's as a result of land acquisition. If not, some of them will have collected, the number of compliance will have increased more than that.
Okay. When you say land acquisition, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about there are some areas that are committed, but those areas we cannot grant planning permit. But there are some areas that are under acquisition, such as LASO acquisition, water corporation acquisition. We receive application for these areas, but we cannot conclude the permit until they regularize with LASO and also as well as other agencies.
Okay.
That regularize with.
So those are some of the challenges.
Some of the challenges that we are facing in that place.
Right. And for you, Engineer Ogunwoolu, from your perspective, is that the same as well?
Yes. I just got there about 4 months ago.
4 months now.
So, but my observation is, tally with what he has just said. A lot of awareness still need to be done there. So, some part of the places are still rural, so it's make for people to reach a little bit ignorance of what LASPPPA is.
Right. So it's still a developing area.
It's still a developing area. So
right. Okay, then. So let's talk about the kind of approvals that you can give for planning permits. Town Planner Adesida, what kind of approvals do you give?
We give a full permit for those that have a title document, such as CFO, governor's consent, registered title. We give them full planning permit. Then those without a registered title that has a land purchase receipt or deed but not registered, we give those people provisional permit.
Okay. So provisional permit, how does it work? At what point does it expire? When you give me a provisional permit, that means I have what now? Just a title?
It expired within 9 months.
9 months?
Yes, sir.
After 9 months?
It is expected that anyone with provisional permit should proceed to Land Bureau and perfect his document and obtain a title document. As soon as that one is done, we will bring it back to the office to at least proceed and collect a full permit.
Right. Okay, so planning permit is one of the documents that you issue. What other kind of permits do you also issue out?
We issue fencing permit too.
Fencing?
Yes, sir.
All right, so if I'm going to fence my property or the land, I have to come to you first.
Yes, sir.
I just cannot start doing that by myself.
Under the law, you are expected to come, sir.
Why is that so?
Because some people, because of the nature of the soil, some may decide that they want to erect a fence at a particular place. At the end of the day, the nature of the soil may not permit that. Then some may even erect fence on an appropriate place. So as a result of that, it is expected for one to obtain a fencing permit in line with the operating development plan
of that location.
Yes, sir.
All right. So fencing permit. What else?
We also issue renovation permit.
Renovation permit.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's just renovation permit for those that want to have improvement on their properties. Maybe they want to change the windows, remove the roof, change the roof, paint the building, change the doors. We categorize that one under renovation. So they're expected to proceed to office and obtain planning permit in line with the law.
Okay, then. Let's get to Engineer Ogunwoolu. For those that want to start their building, they've gotten a permit already, and the next thing, they want to start building. Is that right?
It's not right by law. They are supposed to do some certain things and those steps involve LASPPPPA. And the first thing is for them to write to LASPPPPA that they wanted to commence their construction, having obtained the permit from LASPPPPA. So that letter, they were going to attach evidence of the approval that were given to them. So with that letter, they will submit to our office at our headquarters. Then part of the thing that will happen is that our officers will be sent there to go and verify, to check the land to see whether the place is still vacant. So if that is confirmed, then an authorization letter to commence the construction proper will be issued by LASPPPPA.
Right. Okay, so that's the way it works.
Yes.
All right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM this morning. District officers, a crucial link to effective management of the built environment. We have a call on the line. Hello there. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
All right. What's your name?
My name is B.
B. Regular B.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, same to you.
All right. B. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ogba.
Ogba. Okay then. How are you doing?
I'm very good.
Great.
So I want to ask the guest in the studio that what can someone do if you discover your property is on a government acquired land area already?
Okay. If you discover that your property is on an acquired land.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Is there
Victor, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Another question.
Right.
But not to the guys there. You used to have the electric program.
Yes, every Mondays.
Yeah, we want to complain. We've not had lights for a while, so we like to complain.
Okay. All right. We'll send that complaint to them. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, my guests will respond to B's question. And of course, we also hear from you too. If you also want to ask a question, feel free to do so. 080-99-120777 and 09153-877127. A brief break. We'll be back.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins with building right. We all have a role to play in achieving this vision in line with the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2019 as amended. Do you know that before buying a land or building on it, you must check for the permissible use from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development? Do you know that you must obtain a planning permit and authorization to commence the construction of your building? Do you also know that you require state certification and certificate of completion for building construction in Lagos State? Estate developers must obtain layout approval before developing their estate and obtain full planning permit after the expiration of a provisional planning permit. Their Lagosians, do not carry out unapproved renovation, remodeling or demolition. Do not break the seal on an enforced property. Do not obtain fake planning permit and do not abandon uncompleted buildings. Do not break the law. Build right in accordance with the state operative development plans. Let's work together to make Lagos a sustainable smart city of choice. For more information, download the Lagos State MPP UD app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe ni. Announcer, Lagos State Government.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Build Right is the program, and I see have my friends from the Iba and Oto-Awori district offices, and of course they're taking us to the classroom this morning on the roles that they play in the built environment within that particular corridor. Ikontun Igodo traffic update, movement from Ishere roundabout inward Igodo still very much in good shape. Igondo connecting Yanoba moving as expected. We can tell you if you're making that return journey from Yanoba inwards Igondo, traffic is also very much in good shape. Igondo inwards Old Garage is moving as expected. We have a call on the line. Hello there.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Yes, thank you very much for this program once again.
What's your name?
Been very educated.
What's your name?
Oye.
Okay. Oye, go ahead.
Yes. You made a comment that was one of the officers request for an extension, and he said probably they should just wait and see the outcome. My concern is that for a few of us who have logged in at papers and everything, we have not had any response yet to the ones which has been submitted. So we want to know how long does it really take for them to look at all these as-built submissions that requires consent and all those things. So that is one. The second thing is, which I want to find out, which I want to say is that if the responses have been good, I mean, he said 30 to 40 in a day, and the awareness is going on. I think that the government also should also sit back and have a look and say, if the responses have been good and people are coming, why don't you give us another, why don't you extend it a little bit more and then get enough people to do what is right? Because like I said, a lot of people are not aware. And most of the spaces, apart from Awori and that access, almost all throughout Lagos, you see all sorts of building constructions going on, and people don't know the right thing to do. They just go on. Or they know the right thing, but they don't do it. And so if instead of enforcing, let's keep awareness, and then thereafter, people will know that if you don't do the right thing, you pay for the consequences of it. Beautiful. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Oye, for that contribution. All right. So that's something we need to send to the Honorable Commissioner and, of course, the Special Advisor. Let's see how we can convince Mr. Governor to extend this. I know that we received so many responses as well during the course of the program. By December, people were calling for extension of this amnesty program. So let's see how that pans out. But before I allow you guys to respond, let's still get back to the roads. I was just talking about the Ikontu-Igondo corridor. Traffic looking pretty good. Ijushaga end is also looking good as well, even though we have it busy at the alternating point. And we've taken you through Ejigbo corridor too, all looking pretty good too. Let's get back to the program right now. Town planner Adesida, let's respond first to B's concern. It says if you find out that your property is on a government acquired land, what should I do?
Thank you, sir. If you find out your property is on government land,
right?
That's why it is very important that before you even buy a land or build, you have to come to the town planning office, make inquiries.
Okay, you need to speak more to the microphone.
Make inquiries about the land. When you make inquiry about the land, you know whether the zoning of that land and whether the land is committed or not. From the charting, they can as well get to the place, pick the coordinate of the land, chart it. If they chart it in our office and we discover that place is a government land, we advise you not to go there.
Okay, so it's better for them to come to you guys first.
Yes, to come to us first. Then if peradventure you have already built, you later discover it's on government land, what you need to do is to find out the type of acquisition. It may be, if it's committed, then in such situation you find out the nature of the land. Because, for example, if it is on a government acquisition land, the place government has marked that place for certain project,
right.
And somehow you now build on it. The next thing you do to approach the appropriate authorities and lodge your complaint. If it is NTDA land, you will proceed to NTDA for necessary for further inquiries. But if it's on land bureau and maybe government scheme, you proceed to land bureau for necessary requirement.
Would they get compensation for all of that?
In as much that he did not obtain planning permit, it's on government land, there will not be compensation. He will not be compensated.
Oh, so he's going to lose everything.
He will not be compensated, but you will tell him what to do.
Okay.
When he gets to that place.
All right, then B, that's something for you. I hope that satisfies your concern. Oye is really making some very serious appeals this morning. And he says for those of them that have already applied, even though they were able to beat the deadline, but they're yet to get any response. What's happening? I mean, if you're to speak on behalf of your colleagues.
If they have applied before the amnesty, during the amnesty they apply, but they were unable to submit their plan. Such people should come to office. We will attend to them.
Okay, they should still go ahead.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, I hope you've heard that. If you applied, I think you need to get to that place where you did the application, and I'm sure they will still respond to you.
We tell them what to do.
Yes, in as much as you're able to meet that deadline part. But still responding to what you said earlier on, Engineer Ogunwoolu, Anoye was reacting to that. He said there's a serious need for an extension while this kind of advocacy is going on. What's your response to him?
Well, I would rather say that it's in Nigeria here, we are aware that once you are giving people more extension on things, issues like this, they will continue to be demanding for such. So at the end of the day, the aim of government will be defeated eventually.
Yeah, but I also share some of his sentiments, especially when you consider the fact that we have so many people that have built and they are not very much in tandem with the law. They don't know what's going on. So if this is a corrective measure, why won't government extend?
Well, I would rather say personally, this is my personal opinion now. I'm not speaking
for government.
For government. So personally, I believe that Mr. Governor has done a good
Three
job.
extensions, right?
3 extensions already. And we did that extensions. A lot of advocacy on radio, TV, even the one that we do, programs and the likes, people that we talk to on. So I believe a lot of this will have probably, unless if you are not ready to do it at the time that you were given. So that is my view about it. And the issue of building, as related to LASPPPA, is a function of conformity, safety as well. So if we continue to allow all of this to continue, extension, at the end of the day, people will, they will bastardize the system.
You mean it?
We have a system, we have a process. The process says that you have to obtain approval before you.
Yes.
You do. You have.
I get what you're saying, but considering the fact,
will not want to do that.
Yeah, but you guys just confirmed. Yeah, but you just confirmed now that during this amnesty, you had more people that were turning up, rather than when the amnesty was not on. People just, felt that you can live in their old sins. But now that the government has given that leeway, it has brought a whole lot of change. If you're going to do a record of what has happened between May to December 2024, definitely you must have had more issuance of planning permits. So why not let that continue? That's what Oye and others are saying this morning. But we'll take more feedback. 080-99-120-777, 0915387-7127. That's the numbers that you can connect with us. And some messages are streaming in. This one says, Victor, good morning. Please ask the gentleman in the studio that how does their office address disputes over land ownership in Oto-Awori and Iba? Thanks. Solomon is sending that one in. Okay, so do you come across this kind of situations, Town Planner Adesida?
Yes, sir, we do.
Land disputes?
Yes, we do, sir.
So how do you handle it?
The issue of land disputes is not within our purview. Such will refer them to justice. We have a land grabbing the center.
Okay.
That the government is aware of all these challenges across the state. So that's why we have a unit for it in Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
We refer them to that place. Any issue that had to do with land grabbers, and if they move to that place, those are the people that we attend to them.
All right. Then
but within our ministry, it's not within our purview. It's not one of our functions.
All right. Then we have some other messages. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. Why are some houses being marked for demolition, and how can landlords prevent this? Okay, you didn't put your name. Okay, so Engineer Ogunwoolu, what are the things that will make a house be marked for demolition?
Yeah, for a house to be marked for demolition is either, most especially, the building must have, I express as some issues like distress, what we consider as distress, like cracks, like
if the cracks are very visible,
they are very visible cracks that even to everybody can see that, I don't know, this building is almost gone. So apart from cracks, other defects that are serious that we can see that, oh no, this building.
So every landlord must avoid that.
Yes.
Okay, so once I see a crack on my building, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, well, once you see cracks on your building, it's a sign that your building is exhibiting some distress. So what you are supposed to do as a owner of the building is, one, you have to first of all get what we call a test, an NDT test, non-destructive test, done on your building.
Oh.
So the non-destructive test will tell you where the issues are, because where you consider as the issue might not necessarily be the major cause of the whole thing. So you need to get an NDT test done, and we have an agency that handles that.
Material testing.
Just a material testing laboratory.
All right.
So once you are be able to do that, then you get a professional, an engineer, a structural engineer, to help you appraise the test that you have done. So from the appraiser, you will know whether, okay, this is the situation of the building, these are the conditions, these are things that the engineer is advising that you can do to rescue the building.
All right. Another question here says, good morning, Mr. Adesida. How do you monitor building projects in your district to ensure they align with approved plans? Ni is sending that one in from Iba. So I think this one should go to Engineer Ogunwoolu. Are you not the one that do monitoring?
Yes. We are the one that do monitoring.
Okay. So how do you do that to ensure that they align?
Yeah, on a daily basis, we go out, like it's part of our responsibility and duty as a district. So we go out every day to ensure that we try as much as possible to look for buildings that are not conforming to the regulation. So what we do is we serve them to bring them to notice that, look, we have observed so with your construction, so you have to stop. So we serve them contravention notice and stop work notice. If they don't stop, we serve them the seal of notice, and we subsequently seal the building. All
right, then. So as we round off the program this morning, where are your offices located? Town Planner Adesida.
Our office is located at Long Oto-Awori Road.
Oto-Awori?
Yes, at Iba.
Okay.
Local SCD Secretariat. It's at Long Oto-Awori Road, Iba.
Okay, and for Engineer Ogunwoolu?
We share the same office.
The same office. Yes. All right. Okay, then. So anybody that wants to get in touch with you, they can always reach you in that office as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's round this off now quickly. Your parting thought in 30 seconds?
My party, Lagosians should visit our offices. They should be right, follow due process in obtaining their planning permit, and keep to the planning permit granted.
And Engineer Ogunwoolu, what's a parting thought? 30 seconds?
Yeah, my parting thought was that Lagosians should endeavor to follow due process, most especially LASPPPPA processes for the developer, most especially, so that we can have a built organize and habitable built environment for ourselves. So
all right, then.
Issue.
We'll leave it at that for now. Thank you so much for making it through to the studios this morning. We do appreciate both of you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir.
All right, then. So we did tell you, if you want to whistleblow anything in your locality, the Honorable Commissioner has said it, you can call those numbers 070-3065-3241. That's 070-3065-3241. Or you can also call 080-3469-8264. That's 080-3469-8264. This morning on the program, we've been able to look at district officers, a crucial link to effective management of the built environment. And my guest, town planner Adesida Samuel Ojo, who is with LASPPPA, and of course engineer Ogunwoolu Ibrahim Adeniji, who's with LAPCA. Both of them, they've taken us to the classroom. We have to go. Mike James has produced the program this morning. Maximum thanks to him. I say a big thank you to Mukaila Sanusi, Director Public Affairs for the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. And same in the building as well is Akinsoya Adetola, Chief Public Affairs Officer for the Ministry. We do appreciate you. All right, our social media team, we say a big thank you to you. Afe John, and also to Okwayemi Shodunke. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a great day. Bye.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins with building right. We all have a role to play in achieving this vision in line with the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2019 as amended. Do you know that before buying a land or building on it, you must check for the permissible use from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development? Do you know that you must obtain a planning permit and authorization to commence the construction of your building? Do you also know that you require state certification and certificate of completion for building construction in Lagos State? Estate developers must obtain layout approval before developing their estate and obtain full planning permit after the expiration of a provisional planning permit. Their Lagosians, do not carry out unapproved renovation, remodeling or demolition. Do not break the seal on an enforced property. Do not obtain fake planning permits and do not abandon uncompleted buildings. Do not break the law. Build right in accordance with the state operative development plans. Let's work together to make Lagos a sustainable smart city of choice. For more information, download the Lagos State MPP UD app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Igbega Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Àjùmọ̀ṣe ni. Announcer, Lagos State Government.